Let's bring you back into the country. Kenyans and the media fraternity will soon have a right to access information held by the government, ministries and other public authorities without any hindrance. Well, this is thanks to the Access to Information Bill 2015, currently before a parliamentary committee. However, the bill clearly spells out circumstances under which information may be withheld. For instance, where such information is likely to undermine the national security of Kenya.
The Access to Information Bill 2015 was formally introduced on the floor of the House in September by Nyeri County Woman Representative Priscilla Nyokabi. The bill seeks to give effect to Article 35 of the Constitution by quickening access to information held by government ministries and other public authorities. The National Assembly's Committee on Information and Communication Technology has been collecting views from the public and various interested parties on the bill before it's taken back to the House for the second reading. The Media Council of Kenya and Editors Guild gave their input.
We really have no major issues with clauses of the bill, and this bill will enable our work as journalists be better going forward, because we can now write to the ministries and other public officers and even private entities that we are seeking information, and they must avail that information in a very candid way within specific time, which is 21 days, I think.
And we want to assure you that indeed your views are key to making sure that this bill gets to see the light of the day and comes out in the best way for the best interest of Kenyans.
Once enacted, it is expected to enhance transparency, accountability and good governance. Citizens will be able to know what is going on within government and be able to expose corruption and mismanagement. For instance, the bill compels the state to disclose information that relates to the powers and duties of its officers and employees, procedures followed in the decision-making processes, including channels of supervision and accountability, and salary scales of its officers. Such information will be key while engaging the public in auditing lifestyles of government employees or where blame game is involved in matters graft like the NYS saga. Private bodies and non-state actors that provide public services and are in possession of information which is of significant public interest due to its relation to the protection of human rights, the environment or public health and safety, or to exposure of corruption or illegal actions shall be compelled to reveal the information on request. However, the bill states that information may be withheld by a public entity or private body where it is satisfied that disclosure of such information is likely to undermine the national security of Kenya, such as military strategy or deployment and intelligence activities. Other likely scenarios to withhold information include where such information would impede the due process of law, involve the unwarranted invasion of the privacy of an individual, and or infringe on commercial interests, including intellectual property rights of that entity. But the bill states that a public entity or private body may be required to disclose information where the public interest in disclosure outweighs the harm to protected interests. Lack of Access to Information Act has allowed civil servants to use bureaucratic red tape to conceal information under the pretext of national security.
It has been very difficult accessing information from government because we have a law that under the Official Secrets Act that makes it very difficult for us to access information which is critical to the public. In the recent weeks, you've seen the challenges we've had with dealing with matters corruption, and we have been accused of lynching some public officers.
Indeed, this bill, as you say, is extremely important to this country. Access to information. But of course, also this bill also needs to come with data protection bill, which is also underway. And I think as soon as it comes on the floor of the House, we will also call you again for your views, which we believe will also be able to incorporate in the bill, so that when it becomes an act of parliament, then eventually everybody will be satisfied.
Under the bill, a chief executive officer of a public entity shall be an information access officer. An application to access information shall be made in English or Kiswahili, but in cases of illiteracy or disability, the request may be made orally. A public officer shall make a decision on an application as soon as possible or within 21 days of receipt of the application. But where the information sought concerns the life or liberty of a person, the information shall be provided within 48 hours or not later than 15 working days where the application is complex or relates to a large volume of information. Patrick Amimo, KTN News.